Today I'm going to be giving my thoughts and opinions on the Halo Wars 2 beta. I played a little bit, there's still a couple of days left, but I thought I'd go ahead and give my thoughts and opinion and my good and my bad. Keep in mind, these are just my opinions. You can post yours in the comment section below. I also want to give my thoughts and opinions on this domination game mode. So let's jump right into it. So the Halo Wars 2 beta, let's start off with some things. This is not the original Halo Wars. This is more complicated, and if you think just because you were good in the original Halo Wars that you're just going to jump right into this and be beast mode at it, well, you very may well be, but you're going to have to get a hang of it. It does have a little bit of a learning curve. Let me explain why. If you guys remember the original Halo Wars, when you built a generator, it counted for 1 energy. That 1 energy stayed. Okay, when you built and upgraded that generator, it gave you 2 energy. In this game, you have consistent energy. You have constant energy. Basically, what that means is it works like your resources do. Okay, you're gonna have to use it in order to upgrade things, to basically to upgrade things, build things, different things like that. All right. And you also got to have resources too. Now, if you take a look in the very bottom right hand corner of the map, you're going to see a number next to my minimap below the little energy icon. That is the tech of your base. Alright, so when you upgrade your base, it's going to go up from a 1 to a 2 to a 3. The highest it can go is a 3. Once you hit level 3, you unlock the garage and you unlock the airfield. I think you unlock the garage and the airfield at level 2 actually, and then level 3 you unlock tech level 3, which means you unlock scorpions and vultures and stuff like that. Alright, so once you do that, you're actually able to unlock the final tech that you can. Now, there are little places around the map that will definitely help you out. I definitely recommend getting these. For instance, when you start off, there's one always behind your base, no matter which base you're at. Go ahead and grab that and build a generator there. Don't build a supply pad, build a generator there, because generator and the generating is going to be very crucial and key important to how fast you get to your tech tier 3. Okay? Now, unlike the first Halo Wars, you have where you can choose your command powers, which is very cool. In the first Halo Wars, you had your 3 heroes, your 3 Covenant, and they basically had the powers. You couldn't do anything with them. You couldn't choose which powers you wanted to use. In this one, it's different. Okay, so if you don't want to have a Mac Blast as Captain Cutter, you don't need a Mac Blast, alright? If you want to go ahead and pick a turret to drop, you can drop a turret. If you want to make it so your units gain veterancy faster, which means they get toughened up faster and basically rank up faster, you can go ahead and do that well. You can make it so they capture points faster, different things like that. I really like this into the game. I really like that they added into the game. There is one drawback to this though. Due to the limitations of the Xbox One, the current Xbox One we have, not the Xbox One S, I'm not factoring that into it, the current Xbox One that we have, okay? Due to the limitations of that, when you're in a big battle, if you ever get into a big battle in this game mode, alright? What's going to happen is when you try to bring up the command tree, it's going to be very delayed or even very laggy to where it almost freezes your game. That's a problem, right? Now, I'm pretty sure it won't happen on PC. It depends on your PC hardware specs that you get. If you got a beast PC, I'm pretty sure it may not happen. But on Xbox One, it does happen, and it is a flaw, and it is something that happens, so I have to count that out. Now, going on to the other thing is I really like how they added in the generator. Okay, so you have the generator and the power and stuff. I really like that the generator is always constant flowing. That way you have to, be like, well, I need to get more generators. I need to get more supply drops, different stuff like that. And in this game, you have a equal. Okay, let me explain what I mean right here. You have where infantry counters air and air counters ground units. Okay, basically infantry counters air units and air units counter vehicles and vehicles counter infantry. Those are your 3 things. Now, there are some special units that don't obey by those rules, obviously, okay? But for the main part, when you're just doing Marine, basically Marine versus whatever, say you're doing Marine versus Warthog, the Marines are going to lose to the Warthog because it's a vehicle, different stuff like that, okay? But when it comes down to it, the main big problem I had with this game mode, this game mode can be won without going into battle. The big main thing that everybody loved doing in the original Halo Wars was getting up a bunch of units, going into battle, having a huge battle in the middle of the map, and destroying the other person's base. This particular game mode, Domination, I'm pretty sure in the full release of the game they may have, where you get to destroy other people's base. This mode can be won without doing that. If you want to get an easy win, you could just go around, capture all the points, and then if you want to, you could just have basically Marines that just keep going around and capture them. I've done that. Me and a random dude have won that way. A guy had a huge army, but we completely avoided his army and we went around and captured the points just to win the game, because he had to keep moving his army to try to go. However, there is a contradiction to this. You can counter this. You can put very, very good units, units that are very good against Marines, aka, tanks and Warthogs. You can put them at each individual capture spots, 3 of the capture spots. So if any of the Marines, which are the only things that can capture the points, okay, except for, what are they called, except for Jackrabbits if you get the 1 upgrade in the command tree, but mainly default Marines are the only ones that can capture the points, alright, then you're pretty much going to be good to go. However, a lot of people don't know that, and they tend to move their big army around to capture points. So me and this dude just kept moving around, and we eventually won the game without even going into combat at all whatsoever, alright. Now, another thing in this game that has changed, Warthogs do not capture supply crates. They do not help you capture points either. So you need to keep that in mind. If you're going to be capturing, if you have, oh, I'm going to capture these supply crates, you need Marines. You need ground units to do that, okay? You can't use the Warthog at the beginning of the game, right? The Warthog at the beginning of the game is necessarily there just to help you take out infantry units. It's weak to the air units that you're going to find at the point, so make sure you go with it with Marine units there, alright? Overall, I really think they did a good job with Halo Wars 2. The issues that I have encountered, along with the issue that you can necessarily win this game mode without even coming into contact with anybody at all, which doesn't really bother me too much. I like that you have AI sitting at the points, so we can take those out and gain some veterancy on our units if we want to. I really like the game, and I think it was a very big improvement. But if you do get in, there is one big drawback. If you do get into a big, huge battle, okay, you're going to get some frame drops, which is, noticeable in a beta. It's supposed to be there in a beta, some frame drops and stuff like that. And if you try to access your command tree, there's going to be a lot of times where it's a little bit slow coming up and a bunch of stuff like that, alright? The one last final thing I want to touch on is, in the original Halo Wars, when you trained a Marine, that only counted as 1 unit. In this, they upped it to 60. Now you're like, yay, 60 rather than 30. Here's the thing though, just to train a normal Marine, that takes up 4, I believe it takes up 4 spaces for your unit. So instead of just counting as 1 unit, it counts as 4. It's either 4 or 3, something like that, right? So everything, they've basically doubled everything, the amount of units that it takes to build it, right? So when it comes down to it, it's gotten way more complicated, it's way more complex, but at the same time, I still find it very fun and very enjoyable. I can't wait for the full game to come out. I hope that they don't replace the normal game mode, like the 1v1, just stuff like that, like normal, with domination, because it's gonna be, I like the domination game mode, but at the same time, I just like destroying other people's base, getting a big army, going in the middle, having a huge battle, then destroying the other dude's base. In this game mode, if you really wanted to, you don't really got to do that. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.